getting pretty close there to being able to put the tracks back on this Bulldozer build. The next modification, you will need 20 3M button head screws. They don't need to be very long. I think these are 6 millimeter. Probably go with 4s if you have them. Yeah, these are 6s. So what you need to do for this part, this is so that the gears will grip the tracks better. It will work without doing this, but it won't work as well. So what you want to do is come in here and drill a hole in the middle of every other tooth. This part's a little time consuming. You got to try to get them as close to the middle as you can. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes you can steer it a little bit. Do a few on camera for you. Alright, so once you get those put in, you'll need your hex driver, whatever you're using, whether you're using a drill like this, or a screwdriver like this, or doing it by hand. I would recommend using something like this, since putting 20 screws in can be fairly time consuming. And once you get your holes drilled smaller than the diameter of the screw, you just want to run them all the way in all the holes. And that way it will make the drive sprockets grip the tracks better and not slip. Because if you don't do this, they will slip. So once you do that to all of them, or I'm going to do that to all of them, and we'll be right back. So we got all the screws in, all the way around every other tooth. Now we can put the tracks back on. So we'll need this pin that we saved. I think they're both the same. Yeah, they're both the same, so it doesn't matter which one you have. So put the pin in there first, and we'll take the tracks. How do I have them on the other one? I run them a certain way so that the dirt doesn't get stuck in it as easy. If you run them the other way, it gets stuck in there easier. I don't know why. It shouldn't matter. I run it so that the front, the teeth overlap under the next one, if that makes sense. It shouldn't matter, but I have had difficulty with them facing the other way. You just put that on there like it's supposed to, and slide the pin into place. And push it through further so that I can do the other side. The other set of tracks. Get them overlapped the way I want them. We'll put this one on. Not going together quite right. There we go. There, tracks are on. They will skip around a little bit. Might have to adjust some of the screws. Yeah, it's feeling pretty good. Okay, so then you can put your side pieces back on. Yeah, you might have to trim them. Now that if I remember right. Make sure you get them on the correct side. It's a little tricky. Okay, so it goes on like that. We got to trim them. You need to get your scissors again. First off, we can get rid of, which one is it? Get rid of this bottom mount. Just cut that right off. Don't need that. And also, we need to cut this here back to there. Cut it off like that. Also need to come down here and cut this little rib off of the bottom of it for clearance. So it looks like that. Top, bottom. And they will fit right back into place. Make sure I don't have any clearance issues. Nope, everything fits through there just fine. Make sure we get the axle in all the way. And then we can do the other side. Just a quick little trim. Cut the top one. Cut the bottom mount off, since we don't need that. And trim that tab off. Just like that. Put the other side on. Now if you've got one track that's a lot looser than the other one, you can adjust that a little bit with your mounting of the transmission. I got a little bit of binding issue. Something. Okay, so I gotta trim something, I'm not sure what. Okay, well, I will mess with that in another off video. But that's what it's going to look like when it's all together. Next video, we will be hooking up the steering linkage. Or not the steering linkage, the linkage for the blade to the steering servo, and it will actually be able to dig quite a bit lower than the bottom of the tracks now. And the top will fit right down onto it like that. Might have to move it forward. And that is your basic Bulldozer for now. Next we hook up the, I already said it, we hook up the servo for that. We will also, looks like I need to do a little more trimming on that. And I need to trim on that. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and please subscribe.